Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome you to our first webinar in our series of webinars with Unisense. The title of our webinar series is AI Driving Change in the Retail Space. My name is Kevin Jaskaliak, and joining me today is Bharat Vijay, who is our CEO and founder. We're super excited about this webinar. Basically, the structure of the webinar is going to be really simple. It's a 1 hour discussion once a week for the next 2 to 3 weeks, give or take. The topic and structures are going to continue to change every week. Some will be technology driven. Some will have industry leaders and influencers in the retail space. We'll discuss fashion. But basically what we're doing is we're bringing everything around AI and really going deeper in how AI is affecting the retail space as we see it in today. Really, what is the purpose of this webinar? I think this purpose of the webinar and why we brought this together is to provide insight and information about how AI is affecting the retail space. Everybody, and we hear it constantly on how AI is affecting all industries. It is affecting staffing. And let's face it, there's a genuine overall fear of how AI is starting to integrate in all of our industries, not only retail. This webinar is really meant to bring clarity to the impact of AI and specifically into the retail space. A couple things we want to cover today. We want to look at how AI is impacting merchandising. Talk about product attribution, talk about product tagging, and how that really affects the merchandising element of retail and how we see it today. Also, we're going to look at behavioral sensing and shopping behaviors. That's important, not only online, but also in the brick and mortar space. For years, we've been trying to dig deeper and figure out where do we place clothing? Where do we place racks, displays, mannequins? How do we enter the store? How do we exit the store? And this is really how now AI is bringing a different element to that. And then ultimately, the magic word in all industries, engagement. How are we increasing engagement using AI, using technology such as themes, thematic sensing, and really, ultimately, let's face it, engagement equals sales. It always has been and it always will be. So that's kind of an overview of what the general webinar is going to be about, and we're going to post this on our website. So you'll be able to review it later, and we're also going to send it out on social. So I guess let's get started, Bharat. What I'm going to do, and as I said at the beginning, I want to make this super casual. So I'm going to throw a couple questions towards you. Bharat's not only a good friend of mine, but he is also an expert in AI and has become quite an industry leader in the retail space as well. So by throwing these questions and kind of just having you do a brain dump or a data dump out here, I think it's huge for the audience. So let's start with the first topic. And I love opening up with this. It's the hardest question I'm going to ask you because it's the hardest question I ask anybody. I want you to take it from 100,000 foot level. How do you see the introduction of AI impacting the retail space?
Hey, Kevin, thanks a lot for facilitating this. And I think it's always a great starting point. From the 100,000 foot level, I can say one thing, that the introduction of AI into the retail space is nothing short of a revolution. It transforms almost every facet of the retail ecosystem, right from how we manage inventories and supply chains, all the way to how we engage with customers. And this is something we've also been seeing in Unisense. We've always been at the forefront of harnessing technology, serve the customer better. And AI is just the current and the next frontier in the journey. We've been able to understand customers in ways that were previously unimaginable. Not just predict what they want to buy, but also when they want to buy, how they prefer it delivered. This level of insight, it's just changed the game for inventory management. It's made our supply chains more efficient and highly responsive. And it's not just about logistics and operations. AI is fundamentally altering the customer experience itself. Personalization AI has played a huge role. Create a shopping experience that feels tailor-made for you, tailor-made for each customer. Whether I'm recommending products, say, even on Amazon.com, or curating content on, say, a Netflix or a Prime Video, or providing personalized assistance through anything. It could be an Alexa, could be in your car, could be your Siri. AI has made every interaction more intuitive and more satisfying. The other thing is it extends beyond traditional boundaries of retail. It's opening up models like, say, cashless, uh, shopping. Say like an Amazon Go or a Get Zippin. It's improving even the physical shopping experience. So we're at the heart of a very profound transformation, driving efficiency, driving personalization, like you said, driving innovation. It's just enabling us to better understand the needs of our customers, anticipate it, and just setting new standards for convenience. And with things like drones, I think logistics and personalized delivery, AI is just going to play a transformative role. So the potential is limitless, but I think it starts with product discovery. And that's where AI is playing a crucial and transformative role.
So, Brian, let me ask you a question. Again, we watch the news, we go to conferences. AI has become this demon, this computer that's going to take over our decisions. Where we see the videos of AI machinery playing chess and beating world champions. How do you, I guess, either support or debunk the general overall fear of AI? And specifically, I want to target back to the retail space because let's face it, retail space, we have online, we have brick and mortar. We have individuals who sometimes it's their first job, sometimes it's their career. But the idea is that, when we talk about AI, the first thing says is, well, you're going to replace me. I'm not going to be able to make a decision on my own. How do you kind of address those kind of questions? Because we hear them all the time. And again, it's okay if they're real, they're real. But really, what's your feedback on that and what's your position?
Yeah, I think the main thing is that AI is here to stay. And I go back to this analogy of you mentioned games like chess, and there was an adage that came up in the early days of AI and chess. It said that AI is not going to replace the human being, but a human being that uses AI is going to do much better than one that doesn't. And I think that's really the core of how AI is penetrating a lot of these areas. It's not just about replacing, but it's really where is AI going to impact and augment and make the human just so much better at what they do. And you touched upon this, right? The areas like merchandising, product distribution, and tagging. Take tagging. Historically, we never had proper data for products, and the manufacturer could be somebody in a far off country like, say, Malaysia, and the products get shipped in containers and then land in the continental, in the United States, and it's just a set of products. Now, how do you tag them? And how do you make these products available and searchable and visible? And that's where AI can play a big role. Um, so it's not really replacing the human being, but it's just making them so much more effective. And I think that's where you touched upon three core areas for e-commerce: merchandising, product distribution, and tagging. It's just going to make in merchandising analyze billions of data points for any retailer, and then make that available to a merchandiser to say, hey, these are the insights, and this is how I want to, leverage, this is how I want to stock, this is how I want to improve my advertising, rather than spend all the time guessing. Historically, we used to guess. Now we have data at our fingertips. And I think AI makes that possible. Same thing with product distribution is what product should go to which store. And AI can scan that, not just what happened yesterday, but what's likely to happen tomorrow. and allow us to make those decisions. So there is a fear, it's a very valid fear. The industrial revolution showed us that jobs will change, but jobs will move in a direction of leveraging AI better. And the fact that we now have trillions of sensors, IoT sensors that can pick trillions of data points, not humanly possible to process them, but AI can help us process it and create, probably millions of jobs to leverage it better. That's my feeling. It's going to definitely push the jobs in a different place, but I think that's training worth having.
So, Brad, I always love having conversations with you because you just stole my thunder for the next question. So, I guess I have to get a little deeper into the next question. And you talk about merchandising. I think merchandising is the $1 million question. I love engagement. That's my background, customer acquisition, driving traffic. But let's face it, if we get them there and it is just a really poor experience, I think we lose the customer, not only on e-commerce site, but even when you walk into a store. I mean, how many times have all of us taken 2 steps into a store, pivoted, walked right out because either it was just chaos, how they merchandise, it didn't attract me and what I was looking for. So when we talk about merchandising, great. We know what merchandising is. We know their SKUs. We know how to distribute SKUs. But right now, I'm a merchandising manager for a large retailer. I have everything right here on my spreadsheets. I know where black shirt go, white shirts go. I know where long sleeve, sweaters, turtlenecks. I know that because I've been doing this for 30 years. I guess in your opinion, how does AI improve that process and take it to the next level? Because right now, what I'm doing, and I hate to use this constantly, but instead of using 100,000 foot, I'm going to use a 50,000 foot approach to merchandising. And I know in one area it's cold, and I know one area it's warm. So short sleeve and warm, long sleeve and cold. How do you see AI taking it to that next level of merchandising? And is it really getting into material? Is it getting into weight? Is it manufacturers? Can you give me some kind of insight on how you view that?
Yeah. I think fundamentally, it comes down to anticipating the customer's needs before they even know they have them. Sound like fantasy, but it has been happening for the last 10 years, and it's just continuing to get even better. So historically, we never had the opportunity to process this volume of data to solve the 3 major questions that always confronted merchandisers: product assortment, placement, and presentation. These have to be tailored to your customers' needs and desires. And that's where what AI does is analyzes all the data to identify patterns. We've had demand forecasting, but can that demand forecasting, instead of just operating at a SKU level, operate down to a detailed level of customer preference? Like, for example, from a search query that a customer types, and from their online behavior, can you infer what they might be interested in, what might be their preference? From articles that are published about, say, trends in fashion, can you identify what's coming down the next 12 months? And then can you put these 2 together to anticipate what this customer is likely to be interested in 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and also what's immediately there in the window shop? And I think we can't even comprehend that that's easy to do today. With AI-driven recommendations, we can even just test the waters, and we can see, hey, I presented these 10 products to the consumer. Is the consumer really interested in these 10? And these were my top sellers from last week. But you know what? I have 100,000 items sitting in my inventory that I really don't even know how I'm going to merchandise. So is there a way for me to test the waters with the customer and then use that to better leverage the inventory that's actually sitting on the shelf? And now let's even go beyond the digital realm. Let's go into the physical stores. Um, I feel that the whole, cashless shopping or the checkout free shopping, like the Amazon goes, are going to become they're going to become very, very commonplace. I'm just going to walk in, pick a bunch of stuff and walk out. How do I even know what to stock in these stores? Can I help customers easily discover their products? If they're playing around with a couple of items, let's say I'm playing around with the latest Nintendo product, can I anticipate everything else they're going to need, all the accessories, and have them readily available for them, even in an in-store experience? Can we bring the best of online and offline retail together? I see a lot of these things happening. And finally, inventory management. The cost of unsold inventory is humongous. Just if you take fashion apparel alone in the US, I think that cost was over $50 billion just for 2023. Now, by understanding the logistics network, predicting demand fluctuations, can we, really understand what items to keep in stock and reduce the risk of overstocking. So improve operational efficiency, but also reduce waste minimization. Um, so I think that's really what it is. Harness the power of AI, offer a more personalized, efficient, satisfying experience. And as a merchandising manager, can I have a dashboard at my fingertips that allow me to take my human understanding, overlay that with the power of the machine to analyze data, and to create something that's better crafted for my customers?
Perfect. No, that's amazing. I mean, if you think about it, um, I mean, there's the establishments of the discount stores because of merchandising. They're not there just because. They're because large retailers did not sell the uh, the 5 million pairs of Levi jeans they bought, and so you can see where that becomes a big deal, and it's real. One thing that you said that always just, I guess, uh, gets me excited about this is that idea of going in, having a consumer find a product they might not even know they're looking for. And we talked a little bit about shopping behavior and shopper behavior. Um, Really, let's dig a little deeper into that. That classic example of I believe in my mind I'm looking for a white T-shirt. How do you see AI actually finding out that I'm not even looking for a T-shirt at all? I'm actually looking for this black sweater that I'm wearing. And how do you see that impacting the retail space, and not only on e-commerce but also the brick and mortar side of it?
Yeah, I think today there is just so much choice and so much available planned inventory, um, that this is a very real question. How do you help me find what I need, even though I know I'm not looking for it? In some cases, I don't even have the need. The store creates the need in my mind. And both of these are happening at the same time. And the idea of this is to use AI to present the inventory in a way that's really interesting. And this kind of takes me back to my childhood, where I would actually go sari shopping with my mother. And believe me, Kevin, it my mother would shop for about 20 hours to buy one sari. And even though nobody has that kind of time today, I felt a lot of those learnings are something that AI is actually beginning to use. So when you're looking at some apparel to buy, for example, if you're very, very discerning, then you're going to kind of break it down and understand all the nuances. You know, what's the color, what's the texture, what's the style, what's the occasion, what's my own predisposition? How am I feeling? Am I feeling lucky? Am I going to spend a lot? Am I feeling a little, I don't want to take a risk right now, so I may go for more conservative, selection of colors. Um, all these factors are playing in. There's also a fear of missing out. Believe it or not, when we did analysis of people buying, we found that people were afraid to miss a discount. So, discounts come and go, and that also plays a role. It's like, I like this color, I like this style, I want to buy this, um, but I would have preferred a different brand, but I'm not going to get this discount if I miss it today. So there's all these different factors that are playing in. The important thing is for the consumer to feel that they were able to see the selection. So if I search for a white shirt and I just get 10 white shirts that were all in the lowest price range, I'm not going to feel like I saw everything. I want to see the luxury item. And then I want to, say no to it. The ability to say no to an item is very much part of the buying process. So you need an interface that shows you things that you like, things that you don't like, things that you're ambivalent about, and takes you through the whole selection relatively quickly. Some of our research showed that half the half of the online consumers want to make a decision in 90 seconds, or they make a decision in 90 seconds. You may run into consumers that say, no way. We sometimes take hours and days and weeks to make a decision. Yes, there is a section of 20 or 30% that will come back 5 times in a week, maybe add something to the shopping basket, come back 3 days later, check it out again and decide whether they want to buy or not buy. So you're going to get all types, but 50% of them are like, wow me in 90 seconds. So how do you make a consumer feel they've had this fantastic experience in 90 seconds? That's where AI can play a big role in understanding what's there, how best to present it, how to show and respond to a customer very fast. Customers doing so many things. They're hovering around a product, they're clicking on a product, they're just swiping, they're scrolling, they're going out and doing some work and coming back, and where they left off. Everything tells you something about that customer. It's not humanly possible for a merchandiser to process all of this. AI can do that for you.
Well, Brad, it's funny because when we first started discussing this product many moons ago, I brought up the idea that this is a black hole. That's how I feel shopping is. I go into a store, I go online, I'm looking for one item, and next thing I know, I look at my clock and I've spent 26 minutes looking for a white T-shirt. And one could say, well, that's impossible. Well, it's not, because I overlay price, I overlay size, I overlay, is it a V-neck? Is it not a V-neck? Is it slim fit? Is it a regular fit? All these aspects to it. And so when you talk about how AI is streamlining this, I think it's huge. One thing that you and I talked about a little while ago is that idea of I love to play golf. And I play different courses throughout the United States. Every place we play, there's a different type of look and feel. And then overlay weather and overlay conditions and those type of things. You talked a little bit about themes and how themes are used to, again, shorten that gap between search and purchase. Give a little more detail on themes and how that really impacts the shopper behavior. I want to say experience, but it's more, the behavior and really how we get from I'm entering either an e-commerce or right through the front door of a store to going to the register and purchasing.
Yeah, in the retail and customer engagement world, especially for passionate communities like golf enthusiasts, the concept of themes is something, it actually transcends mere athletics or even superficial categorization. The whole idea is, can you create an immersive, resonant experience that speaks directly to the heart of the consumer's interests and passions? So that's where themes come from. It's not just, saying, give me, it's a theme is not just a white shirt. It's not a color of a shirt, or it's not the sleeve length of a shirt, or just the brand. It's actually a connection to the lifestyles, to the aspirations, and the hobbies. So, for example, I'm not a golf aficionado, but I've heard enough from people around me that each course offers a unique experience. Not just in terms of the layout or the challenge, but even the atmosphere, the feel that the course embodies. So when we curate, say, golf-related products, and I'm taking the example of golf because I think it's something that connects with a lot of people. You don't just find items; you create a theme journey. You got to resonate with the soul of the sport. So for example, high-tech clubs, eco-friendly golf balls. You kind of start connecting to really what it is this person's looking for. What kind of scenery, landscape, what kind of friends they're going to play with, and create a thread that weaves together all these products and the community. Um, One of the thematic experiences that we've created is something called something well known as zodiac signs. We've researched zodiac signs, and we find not everybody follows it, but there's a group of people on whom there's been enough research done. It could be 10 to 20% of the people belonging to a zodiac sign that really resonate with the themes, colors, styles that belong to a zodiac sign. The other thing is, we know moods and emotions evoke certain feelings within people. And, bright colors have mean flamboyance. So themes can be created that actually match some of these categories. And just categorizing products this way makes them easier to find. The themes are available. They can take inventory that was sitting on the shelf that never got sold, that suddenly become relevant because a certain zodiac sign is now, on the horizon. And they allow people to find products more easily. They allow a merchandiser to take products that have been in the inventory for way too long and suddenly become temporarily relevant. So definitely themes play a massive role, and they have to connect. It's not easy to sit and design themes. I mean, imagine historically a merchandiser having, say, 10,000 new products every month, or 100,000 new products every month to sit and redesign their themes. AI can just do it for you, but the merchandiser can tweak it, can, really say if these themes make sense or not, and does that reflect the passion with which the retailer sourced the products. So they can play a very crucial role here.
Well, Brian, I always try to stay away from Zodiac because somehow every time I say I'm a Gemini, everybody's either go, I know I could tell that, or ooh, I want to. Everybody wants to stay away from my theme, or my sign. But I thought something that was really interesting going back to the golf. And again, we're going to move on to kind of the final question. But when I thought about golf, everything you said is spot on. But then when we talk about the Masters or the U.S. Open or the British Open, people watch this who have never played golf in their life, but they're looking at the clothes and the outfits. I mean, Tiger is iconic, right? Tiger Woods wears the red shirt with the black pants every final round. It doesn't matter if he's playing miniature golf or the U.S. Open, that's his final round outfit. So what happened? People went out to Nike and bought the red shirt and the black pants. I think it's interesting when you talked about themes before with me offline of how even an event, the U.S. Open, and looking at the trends of merchandising, again, going back to merchandising and merchants and how they're equipping pro golfers. And let's say I want to look like that. So now on a theme, I click the US Open theme. And next thing you know, I'm getting clothes and recommendations. And again, you can tell I'm using all these buzzwords because I'm absorbing everything you said. But there's recommendations of outfits and looks and feels that correlate directly to the U.S. Open. And I think that's so powerful. Could it have been done before? Sure, but you would have to know. You'd have to have a cheat sheet 6 months before the U.S. Open of what everybody's wearing. Now with AI, we can do real time. And I think that's where, and again, I'm going to start looping these things back to my initial kind of opening discussion. So when we talk about the fear of AI, now we're actually seeing the benefits of it. And no one got replaced. No one's making decisions for me, but they're actually assisting of an outcome that I wanted in the beginning, that it was on me as a consumer to look on TV, look at the item, quickly go to an e-commerce site, start to search, see if I can find it, see if I can find the pattern, the cut, the length, those type of things. And I think that's where AI, and when you look at themes, brings real power, and how it's truly kind of a true transition in how we experience retail shopping today.
For sure, Kevin. And again, connecting all your points, right? Historically, take golf, the entire retail and merchandising space would just list the items. If you looked at it online, it would just be a search engine, and you just keep searching. Today, you can thematically classify golf apparel, golf equipment, the tech and training aids that you have for golf, accessories like gloves, hats, sunglasses, umbrellas, footwear. I know you guys. I have a friend who buys new golf footwear every week. Travel and lifestyle. You're going to different places, and even the kind of, if you want to play in the Smoky Mountains, there's a certain set of golf courses there. You want to play in say the San Francisco Bay Area, you got a different set of golf courses there. So travel and lifestyle, and this other category I hear a lot about called golf fitness, and the emerging eco-friendly golf categories. Now imagine having to create themes for all of these, and to create them constantly. And I'm sure there's a lot more. And this is something that can actually make it very relevant, because each consumer has become very discerning and wants to be their own cohort. Historically, we would group people into premium and non-premium as the two cohorts. But today, each person's ready to be their own cohort. And to handle that, you need to, give them good thematic access so they can, have their own journeys into even something like golf.
No, absolutely. And again, I don't want to beat this to death here, but the other thing we didn't talk about is celebrities. Celebrities have huge influences in retail, from makeup to clothing to shoes, you name it. And when you think about that, it's either on the consumer, it's previously on the consumer's shoulder to find out what type of dress, jacket, shirt he or she was wearing, who is their favorite celebrity. Now, I think through AI and the use of themes, it takes it from, and I'm trying not to use buzzwords, but that giant funnel discussion. It takes it from the top of the funnel to decision very quickly, as before. It's always funny because we refer back to when we were younger. You would show up to school and you had a better yet, I'm going to age myself, but everybody wanted the Michael Jackson jacket. That was the big deal. Well, no one had the exact Michael Jackson jacket. We had similar ones. We had things that look a little bit like it. Some didn't look at all, but they claimed it was. And you think about that and how much work you went through with your parents, digging and searching for this ideal, iconic association to your favorite celebrity. Where now I think with the use of AI and the use of themes in general, we take it from I see something, I buy something. And I know that sounds very simplistic, but it truly has shortened that gap so much that before I see something, I shop for something, I search for something, I may find something and then I purchase something. So you can see where we've taken out 10, 15 steps of this process through the use of AI. And again, looping right back to this fear factor aspect of it, no one's lost a job. Actually, probably hired more people because of the fact that we're moving more merchandise, and we have to be quicker to respond compared to before. So, Murat, we could talk about this for 5 days. I think we have before. And I think that's why I get so excited about it. But kind of the final question, and we've talked about and we've touched about all these things through our conversation, and this is one that's really true and dear to my heart, and it's really the customer engagement. So great, Brett, you sold me. I believe AI can help me merchandise. I believe it can help me once I get the consumer in the door, can get me from search to purchase. I'm going to reduce inventory. I'm not going to have, I'm going to be able to improve my buying patterns. So, okay, now how about engagement? That's great. We have a beautiful store. We're perfectly merchandised, but I'm looking out the window and no one's coming in. So how do you see AI kind of affecting the consumer engagement aspect of it? And also, I didn't prep you for this question, but how do you see the integration of social media with AI into retail and how it's going to increase our engagement across the board, not only e-commerce, but also brick and mortar?
That's a great question, Kevin. I think the one thing I just want to touch upon, what social media is doing and tying it back to your point on celebrities is the inspiration is coming from social media. Whether it's a celeb or it's just somebody that has a sense or just wants to express their own sense of of an idea. That inspiration today can be, like you said, right? I see it, I buy it. I can go from that inspiration to a gratification almost immediately, and it's completely AI driven. Now, just imagine that you see, something that a celeb wore, let's say Tiger Woods, and now to buy this shirt from a golf website, you're going to have to pay like $400. Um, but if you're like me, you're ready to spend $40 on it, and
Or for me, $14. So yes, we can skate
and
it all exactly.
and 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 you find a lookalike. It's not the exact same one. And now imagine you're taking like pixel by pixel. It's maybe the same material. You're trying to say, okay, find something that's exactly the same material that's a lookalike, or pixel by pixel, different material but looks the same. This kind of search is something that requires very sophisticated image processing to do. And that's something that AI can do and just take you from inspiration to something that's affordable for you, that's something that you're willing to pay and give you that gratification immediately. I think it's really powerful. And right from, celebs wardrobe all the way to something that folks have shared. And that's, I think, where social media comes in, is it's just proving to be the inspiration today. And AI is connecting those dots to the buy now ability. But it comes down, like you said, to engagement. And engagement today, right from, say, personalized marketing emails, is deeply rooted in AI. I would say AI is the perfect virtual assistant. It's the assistant that has infinite patience, that can take you through this personalized experience, can sift through all the products. It has the capability to be that sari salesman of your that is able to really help you understand what the inventory is and really understand what it is that you want in the moment. I bought the white shirt yesterday, so please don't assume I want another white shirt today. I want something that's probably a different color, a different style for some other use. So you need the virtual assistant that can quickly understand that without me having to specify everything. And now connect it with social media, where the AI can analyze trends, conversations, about all the products and services, and then engage in a much more meaningful way for me, and adjust the offerings that are available from the retailer side to meet exactly what I need in the moment. So I think that's really how it all comes together. It's really I would say, a relentless pursuit of customer-centric innovation. I think this used to be the mantra for Amazon in the late 90s, but I think this is really possible for any retailer today using AI, and seamlessly bring everything together. And I think AI is setting a benchmark for the retail industry at large. I know it was sort of more of 100,000-foot answer to your question, but I hope it
But
covered.
it's great, Rob, because I think of the paperclip of Microsoft on steroids. So, AI has evolved, and it's no longer popping up in the corner of your screen asking how I can help. Now it's a monster behind there that's helping us have a more seamless kind of uh, life within the retail shopping experience. Bharat, great discussion. This was, I think, a great intro into our webinar series. I want to thank everybody who signed up and helped sell out our first webinar event. Also, please refer to our website, unisense.tech, for a copy of this, and also you'll be able to see the next week event and topics. So, Bharat, again, thank you so much. I apologize for throwing in some questions that we didn't even discuss, but as you and I always do, once we start, we could talk about this for hours, and I think this was not only a good first launch, it was an outstanding first webinar event to actually debunk a lot of the fears and talk about how AI is really having a positive impact in the retail space.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kevin. Thank you for also giving us a chance to talk about some of the real advances in AI, and we've been at the forefront of this from almost the time e-commerce started, as you know, and Unisense has been working diligently in this space, not just on AI, but also the adjunct areas of understanding the behavior and emotions of consumers so that the AI can provide a richer experience. So I definitely see all of these areas continuing to evolve. And I think that's where we've spent our time, and we're glad to share some of our understanding in this space as well. So thank you very much for
Outstanding. Well, thank you so much, and everybody have a great afternoon. And if you live in California, stay dry.